Good day, everyone. It's a beautiful period as we are just entering 2021. I hope everything has been nice, although there were ups and downs, paying everyone's expectations and plans. That we are alive today is something to celebrate. I'm really happy to enter 2021. I hope you too are. Okay, today our topic is dealing with fear. Everyone should know fear, and everyone has experienced fear, but not everyone knows how to conquer their fear, and that's why today we want to deal with fear. Well, I'm Ipeayeda Ajuasegunlo, and I'll be your host. Today we'll learn what fear is and how to conquer fear. Sit back and enjoy.
You speak from heaven, we call it thunder. You are amazing.
So today we'll start with the meaning of fear. What is fear?
We call it rainbow. You are
Well, fear, in my words, is a feeling that makes you anxious and that's alert. But the other sources say fear is an unpleasant feeling triggered by the perception of danger, real or imagined. It is also an unpleasant emotion caused by threat of danger, pain, or harm. For example, you leave the house happily and suddenly a car rushes to hit you. There's this feeling you have at that point. That is fear. You will face it even before thinking of escaping from the incoming danger. Okay, another scenario is when you are faced with someone who wants to stab you and there's no one to help. What makes you to cry is fear of death. There are different other things that makes people afraid. Let's check something else.
God. Yeah.
Okay, now let's look at the types of fear. We have the rational fear, the primal fear, and the irrational fear. And rational fear occurs when there's a real imminent threat. For example, if someone is brandishing a knife at you, the fear of being stabbed is a rational fear. Fear of death is rational. On a less extreme note, losing a child in a very crowded venue is a rational fear. Any fear that is really serious and real is a rational fear.
Your eyes are full of love, Jesus, and it's overwhelming. Pouring down as rain.
Good. Let's go to primal fear. Primal fear is defined as an innate fear that is programmed into our brains. They are called phobias. They are natural fears of an individual. For example, when someone sees a snake and the person is almost vomiting, that is ophidiophobia, fear of snakes. There are also different types of fear, and I will mention just a few.
Lord, you are amazing, God.
We have acrophobia, that is fear of heights. Aerophobia, that is fear of flying. Arachnophobia, that is fear of spiders. Astrophobia, fear of thunder and lightning. We also have autophobia, that is fear of being alone. So let's also go to fear of confined or crowded space, that is claustrophobia. Hemophobia, that is fear of blood. I don't think that person can be a doctor. We also have hydrophobia, fear of water. Ophidiophobia, fear of snakes. I've mentioned that. Zoophobia, fear of animals. Well, that's all about primal fear. So let's go to irrational fear.
You are amazing. Hey, you are amazing.
Well, irrational fear is almost like phobia. It is an extreme, unwarranted fear linked to a specific object or event. It's a fear that is not real. You are not sure if what you are afraid of will happen. For example, let's say you're afraid that if you sew a clothes with needle and thread, but without a thimble, the needle might prick your finger. You're afraid that if your book falls, it might get torn. Those are irrational fear. They're not real, they're not really serious. It's just like the opposite of rational fear. Well, that'll be all for types of fear. I hope you've understood that. Let's move to causes of fear. Your fear can be caused by past experiences. For example, let's say you had an accident when you were young due to reckless driving. You might be scared of driving yourself as you grow up. Another one is you might be scared of having a bad dream, that is after watching horror movies. When I was still in primary school, I can remember I was about to enter secondary school. There was this teacher that was very strict. So when you're with her or when she's teaching, you have to behave well. So everyone, including me, behave well so as not to be beaten. Everyone was afraid of her because we have and seen what she can do. So that can also cause fear. And also, what other people say can also cause fear. For example, I think you should know the Stone Church. Okay, let me say, Word of Life Ministries International. You should know it. When it was about to start, when they were about to hold the first service, Pastor Alex called his family together and told them what God said. So his daughter said, "What if people don't come to the church?" What she said really entered deeply into him, and he became scared. But alas, people came. There's also this man that wanted to start a business. He thought of telling his friend to advise him on it. So he went to visit his friend and he told the friend. The friend told him of people that tried it and failed. So the man left the friend's house with just a small confidence. So he told his mom also. The mom also told him of people that have tried it and failed. So the man became scared and later he did not engage in the business. He didn't engage in the business. So I know the man, there was no source of income for the man. So how did I expect the man to live? Still, the man did not still engage in the business. Well, other causes of fear are future events, imagined events, real environment dangers, the unknown. So these are causes of fear. Let's move on. This is teacher Ajuasegunlo. I am Ipeayeda Ajuasegunlo. So now let's look at the disadvantages of fear. If you remember the story that I told you, the man did not engage in the business due to fear. I know what will happen next. There was no means of feeding, no source of income for him. Life became difficult. But at the end, he later engaged in this business and the business boomed. So, okay, let me leave that one for now. So fear can make you stop what you want to start. It's just God that help Pastor Alex not to continue the church until the first service. Fear can change someone's attitude. In the story about that strict teacher that I had when I was still in primary school, everyone has to behave well in her presence. Even a playful person has to be quiet. You know, fear can change a person's behavior. Fear can impair formation of long-term memories, and it can cause damage to certain parts of the brain. This can make it even difficult to regulate fear and can leave a person anxious most of the time. When fear grips you, it takes like about 1 or 2 minutes before you think of what to do. It brings about slow processing and brain reactivity. You know, for example, when you have when the example I gave that when a car is coming to hit you directly, that fear will grip and you'll be like stay there for some time before thinking of even escaping. So it brings about slow brain reactivity. It can also cause fatigue and clinical depression. So now let's look at prevention of fear. How do we prevent fear? Firstly, be determined and focused. Don't mind what people say about what you want to start. Be sure of yourself. You know, that man that didn't start the business, later he started the business and the business boomed. The people he went, they did not talk about people that have tried it and that succeeded in it. But they just told him about people that have tried it and failed. So don't mind what other people say. Be sure of yourself. Secondly, take time out. It's impossible to think clearly when you're flooded with fear and anxiety. Breathe through planning. For example, when you're if you start to get a faster heartbeat or sweating palms, the best thing is not to fight, it's just breathing and breathe out. Try that for some times, then just check. The fear will go. The next one is face your fears. There was a time I was scared of the dark, so later on I decided not to be scared. That's how I overcame my fear. I faced my fear and I overcame it. Determined. Okay, visualize a happy place. Talk about it. Look at the evidence. It sometimes helps to challenge fearful thoughts. For example, if you are scared of getting trapped in a lift and suffocating, ask yourself if you have ever heard of this happening to someone. Ask yourself what you will say to a friend who had a similar fear. Okay, then reward yourself. You can give yourself a treat when you've made that call you've been dreading. For example, reinforce your success by treating yourself and making yourself happy.
I know that all things are working for my good. Yes, they are, yeah. I know that all things are working for
Well, we've come to the end of today's program. I hope you'll be able to conquer your fear now. So as we are beginning our journey in 2021, don't be scared of anything. I can remember some are saying 2020 is a forecast for 2021, meaning that 2021 will be either better or worse than 2020. It's left for you to choose one to believe, but I feel 2021 will be better actually. I saw a picture and they said first rule of 2021 is that no one should talk about 2020. Like, why would anybody ever say that? 2020 is my best year. You might not take me serious, but it's actually my best year. I was able to start different things. So let us go into stories. But to make 2021 a better year, we have our roles to play. We need to trust God for a more peaceful year. And let's try our best to lend an helping hand to people this year. And let's try to make 2021 a very good year in our own part. Yes, this is still Talk with Ajuasegunlo. I am Ipeayeda Ajuasegunlo. Thanks to you for listening to this program. Thanks to God for helping me in this. Thanks to him for helping me thus far. Thanks also to my editor and advisor, Ipeayeda Ajuasegunlo. See you next time. Have a good time.